Alright, so this is my first time trapping. Before, I wasn't able to trap because I was born clubfoot, and now these days I actually have a new brace to where I can actually walk as far and as long as I want to. There we go. Name's Harvey. Yeah, the problem I had before was I couldn't walk very far on uneven ground. So I'm 27, just found this life-changing brace that takes all the pain away, so I figured I can finally go out and do whatever I wanted to do. And I've always wanted to try trapping, so that's what I want to do. And another problem I had is, it's not really a problem, it's more of a gift, is that I have 3 daughters and my wife, stay-at-home mom. So being the sole breadwinner, it's kind of hard to get time to yourself to do things, and money, obviously. Getting started in trapping and all the other outdoor stuff I love to do is expensive. So thank God I'm able to do that now. So I went ahead and went to a trapping supply house, a local one. It's Volker's Trapping Supply up in Pearl City, Illinois. It's about 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes from my house. And he really set me up with a lot of good stuff. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. And it's May right now, so obviously I got a lot of time to work on these traps and get them set up for what I want to do. I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube here and reading books and getting ideas from a couple guys. I only know 2 other people that trap. Used to trap, actually, so it's kind of hard to figure it out up here in northern Illinois. It's surrounded by cornfields, so we do have a coyote problem, so hopefully I can get on the dogs here. You'll see some of the traps I got for them. And well, here we go. This is what I got for my first setup. Mr. Volker hooked me up, and I got my see if you can see that here. I got a dozen Duke 110s to get started on the muskrat. Those, they set real nice. Right out of the box, seems like they're pretty good. I'll show you. So set real nice right out of the box. So I've never had any others before, so I'm assuming they're good. I guess. Let me see. Take it apart here without snapping myself. I've only got myself once, and that was in a number 1. So I bought a dozen. Back you up so you can see it a little better. I bought a dozen Duke dog proofs, and the reason I've heard good things about Dukes for the price. I wish they were made in America. I'm a made in America type of guy, but I'm not able to afford those yet. But we'll see what these Dukes do. They seem to set real nice, real easy, as long as you. And they're a pull type, which I've heard mixed reviews, but after stopping at Volker's, I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, not too worried about it. Seems like the push-pull have a few problems from what I was talking to. I got a bunch of Duke, or a dozen Duke 1.5s for coyotes, skunks. I'm gonna try skunks. My cousin says it might be a good idea. I'm gonna try that Essence deal. I'm not too afraid of it, so we'll see. And then obviously the raccoons. These traps though, when I bought them, these traps are definitely gonna need some work. I'll show you here the issues I was having with them, just playing around with them. I don't know much about traps yet, but from what I've learned in the past few months, is that the problem we're having here might be an issue. Let me see if I can get you turned down towards my camera setup. It's a little goofy here. There you go. Alright, so here's my Duke 1.5. Right out of the box, it's got that brass screw right there. And it's tight. It is tight. You got to put some serious pressure on it. So, setting it. Setting it. The pan sits high, which that's fine for the amount the Dukes cost. I'm okay with that. I just use my I was just using my crescent here to kind of tweak on the dog just a little bit to get that to level out. And I'll show you one that I actually did tweak. Took me 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes to tweak it and get the trap where I wanted it. But you can see it sits a little high. And then the pressure out of the box. Let me try to. Oh, that one does sit a little flatter, so maybe that's one I tweaked. Okay, that is one I tweaked a little bit. So you can see I bought a Sullivan's trap tester here. Each line is a pound. You want to stick around that 3 pound mark is what I've been reading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess this isn't one I tweaked. So I was well over 4 pounds. I'm assuming 5 to 6. So obviously that's not going to work out. Here's one I tweaked a little bit. This one I played with. Nope. This one I played with last night. I loosened my pan, so it's floating a little better. And I night latched it, which I've just been playing with it because I'm so giddy that after learning about night latching, I've set the traps probably 100 times just playing with them. And after learning about night latching, I realized how important that is. So, let's see if you can see that. You see the night latch I did in there. I did that with my file here. I just ran it in there a couple times, tried to stay level with the pan, and it worked out really good. But you'll see if you can hear it. There it is. Now, see how flat that's sitting. This is the one I did play with, and I did tweak my dog a little bit so it sits a little flatter, and then you'll see 1, 2 pounds there. So, I don't know if I should try to get it to 3 pounds or if anything under 3 pounds is better. So that's something I'm going to do some more research in. Just got to remember that this is something new to me, and I'm one of those guys who has always wanted to be outdoors but never really could. Deer hunted here and there a lot. I started to bow hunt, but more than 50 yards into the woods was treacherous for me. So anybody out there who is new to it, and we're in the same boat. Alright, now these are the traps I decided to get. Let me grab my other ones here. I grabbed a dozen of those, and that's a Bridger Dogless number 2. And I actually bought a couple other traps a while back. I ordered them from FFT Post, but I didn't like ordering things online like that. It bugged me that I couldn't just hold it and feel it. So this is my Bridger Dogless, and the dogless part of it is, well, obviously if you trap you know what that means, but the jaw actually sits under the pan right here instead of a dog, so you're not worried about that dog flipping up and hitting something and you missing the catch. The other two I bought a dozen of these Bridgers. Now these two I bought as a comparator. I bought these before a couple weeks ago. I had a few bucks in my account, or in my PayPal account. Wife didn't know about, so I ordered a couple two of these, just to get a comparison to see which ones I wanted to actually order, because I thought these were going to be it. And they are offset jaw. From what I was reading, it's a little more of a humane catch, and it I also read that it actually holds a little better. So here's the Bridger. I bought a Bridger number 2 square jaw 4 coil Bridger, or in a Duke number 2 4 coil. One thing I did notice too is the 4 coil is a pain in the ass to set. That is a lot of pressure. I'll show you. Oh my gosh, hate that. There we go. So that's almost right out of the box. I did night latch them just playing with them, and this jaw likes to sit up. I'm not quite sure how to tweak it. I've tweaked these a few times to try to get that jaw to move around, but somebody might have actually said just go ahead and get rid of those 2 coils, these 2 extra coils here, and that'll help that. But they are night latched. I'll show you. There you go. It's my night latch there. And then if you look, got me. If you look here, I mean, I'm going to try to do this slow so you can kind of compare. This is the Duke. This is the Bridger. There is damn near no difference, you know. The only differences I found were the jaws have a different angle on them, the way they're carved up, and the pan is cut exactly the same, just something different stamped into it. A little bit of welding on the pan, it's just a little bit different. The chains are different, and shit, I think that's it. One thing the Dukes had a problem with was these D-loops. They used to pull apart, but they fixed that. They're tack welded in there. You can see that they can't pull apart anymore. It's a damn strong trap, but I don't know if I like that 4 coil. After playing with this Bridger at Volkers, he talked me right into that Bridger. I mean, he didn't have to do much talking. I just asked him if I could set it once, and I was hooked. But never caught a dog yet. Never caught anything yet because I've never put these out. So I might be blowing smoke. I don't know. But as you can see, I'm not pushing that hard, nearly as hard as the other one. So now that Bridger is right out of the box. That sucker sits flat. And then listen to this. This is right out of the box. I haven't done anything to it. Night latched. Comes night latched. So I just got to tweak that pan a little bit to go ahead and get that to sit a little flatter. It's not bad, but it could use a little work from what I've been told. But yeah, you can see right here, that's how it sits under there. Just so then you don't have to worry about that dog getting in the way, or you're setting your, from what I've seen on the videos, is setting your traps in certain angles, which people might have other reasons for that, but that's what I've noticed. There's that. I got a dozen of those. I'm excited about those. He sold me a hammer, 3-pound hammer with the digger side. Obviously, it's going to be important. I did go out and set a couple mock sets just to play around with it. I did get the narrow shovel. I actually bought one from Menards that I was not happy with, and I saw this one sitting there, and yeah, I was like, you know what, throw that in the basket with me. I got a bunch of these hooks, because all these come with their crunch proof swivels, you know, and I can set up my swivel. And my anchor system, I'm a little bit of a cheap ass, but I think they'll do what I need them to do. I mean, I cannot remember for the life of me what these are called. But I got the medium size for my 1.5s, and for my dog proofs, and I got the larger size disposable anchors for my dogs, for my number 2s. And then he gave me, I was a cheap ass again, and the set tool is $30, or I could get this guy right here, which is the end, a replacement tip for a set tool. And the way that works, you slip that sucker on there like that. Oops. Like that. Slides right in there, and it sits right on it. and you drive that sucker home, and then you give it a tug. Give it a tug. So I was a cheap ass. I only got this, but I got enough rod where I can rod and a welder. I can make another one. Oh, I forgot to do a pressure test or a fan test on this Bridger for you right out of the box. Let me do that. Make sure you guys get an accurate review of it, of somebody who's never used it. So, right out of the box here. We got 1, 2, just under 2 right out of the box. I'll even do the Duke traps. I am going to use these. I might end up just taking those coils off because I am going to use the Duke and the Bridger number 2. Oh, Mary and Joseph, that's a pain. Let's see. I did night patch this one too. I'll let you listen. Boom. And this one has the same problem as the Bridger, where this side wants to kick up on me. So let's see. 1.5 pounds. And I'd like some feedback if any of you guys know what I might be, if I should adjust my pan so it's a little more, so it is around that 3 to 4 pounds, or if 1.5, 2 pounds is good. I feel like I'll find out in the field, but be cool to know before I get out there, I guess. The hardest part for me is I don't have really anybody to turn to actually talk to about this that is still active in it. My cousin who does it, he's 5 hours north up in Wisconsin. And my buddy, he got out of it years ago, so he used a lot of long springs and stuff like that. These little, here we go. Alright. Bridger number 2, 4-coil square jaw. We got a little over 1 pound. I feel like that needs to be tighter. I feel like when I'm cleaning the dirt off the pan, it's just going to kill me. Alright, now I had to get some things just to have some fun with them. That is my Bridger Special number 5. That is going to be my beaver set. I only got one because I don't know how many beavers I'm going to come across. The place I'm hoping, I'm going to ask this weekend if he'll let me trap there. If he says yeah, then I know he's got beavers doing damage to his field right next to the river there. So hopefully I can get a hold of one. I know the prices aren't good with really anything but coyote right now, but I'm not really in it for the money right now. I'm in it for the enjoyment. I love being outdoors, and this is something I've always wanted to do. So now this Bridger, made in Taiwan. That sucker. I mean, let me get a tape measure here. The pan on that thing is 3 3/4 by 3. Okay, 3 3/4 by 3. So, and then, I mean, the whole trap itself closed is 8.5 by 7. It's a big trap. They also can use these for wolves. When I was reading, I was told you should probably, if you're going to use it for wolves though, you're going to want to weld up 2 things like the ends here. They don't pop out, so they're not welded in. It's not like the MB70 750. I did look at that, but I didn't like how you had to keep your hands inside the jaws to get everything set. This trap, it makes me a little nervous, and it's settable. You know, it's not something that's crazy hard to do. Another feature I haven't seen on any other ones is this nipple right here. That's their night latch. So you have to get the pan. Let's see if I can click that in there. You get the pan, and it's got a little indent in it, and you got to slowly click that over that nipple, and once it tops over, you'll know it, and that's your night latch. Now this one right out of the box, I mean, it sits pretty flat from what I remember. I haven't set it in a couple days, but let me see. What you gotta do is gotta have that dad belly and shove that sucker in there. Whew, get that overhang over it, that overhang over that jaw there. Not everybody's got that. Alright, let me show you this night latch setup. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I was a little nervous to do it, and I pressed it in a little too fast and it jumped shut, and just like that. Maybe I'll pay attention to that instead of the camera. I'll try it again. I'm sure nice rainy day or something trying to set that's gonna be, or when I'm standing in the water pushing on mud, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. And I hear they got trap setters, but I'm poor. Not poor, I'm broke. Alright, here we go. And pay attention to it. Try to get a good hold on it first. Yeah, there it is. See, I'm wondering if when I boil these up and get the oil off them, because they're real, I mean, look at my hand. You can kind of see it. My hands were clean when I came out here. They're real oiled up, so I'm wondering when I boil that oil off, I'm sure the wax will add a little to it and kind of screw up what I'm saying right now, but I'm sure it'll be a little easier to set. But this trap right here, I mean, I wouldn't want to step in it. But a beaver's foot is pretty big. What do we got? 7.5 by 7.5 there. Yeah, it's a nice trap. You can see, I mean, it sits pretty flat. For just buying it, not doing a damn thing to it, it sits pretty flat. So let me show you right out of the box what we got here. It's pretty light. It's lighter than you think because of that night latch. 1 pound. That's all it took. I think we're going to have to tighten that screw up, which it comes with a nice, actually a lock nut on the screw on this side. The Dukes 1.5s don't, which is, I'm wondering if that's going to bite me. If I should change those to something with a lock on it. Oh my gosh. I'm going to do this one on the ground with my feet so I can take that off. Yeah, doing this with that brace is a pain in the ass too. Oh shit. Well, I feel like a jackass. There. Of course, falls back in. If I can overcome my embarrassment, I might not edit that part out. Alright. And then here's the one that scares the living shit out of me. That is my 330. Also my beaver getter. This one I set last night by myself after watching a couple videos on how to do it without killing yourself, or becoming part of the, as my cousin calls it, the thumbs club, and then having to get my wife out here to help me get this thing off. Let's see. Brand spanking new. Bought at Volker's Trapping Supply, or Volker's Wire Cubbies, as he, I think he makes a lot of good wire cubbies. I couldn't afford them yet. I'm using buckets. I'm buying some 160s here, or 220s here soon. But let me see if I can get this set. Here, maybe you can see. Oh, the chair's got too much cushion to it. me do it up here. Well, either way, here's my 330. It's a big bitch here. You know, I think I'm just gonna buy some setters because even just trying to set it, I've only set it one time before, and even just trying to set it there got me a little nervous because it wanted to spring back on me so hard. But let's see. Yeah, I've gotten some good reviews about these 330s. This is a Duke. I don't know if I said that yet. Man, this camera mount is garbage. Oh, a little hot in my garage. Insulated but hot. I'm not set up for the heat. That's why I like winter stuff. Like trapping and hunting, ice fishing. Maybe someday I'll be able to do some videos of those. Here's some traps my cousin gave me. And last year, or this last season, me and him went out for the last 2 days of the season because that's when he showed up. That's right after I got my brace. I got my brace in January. Got my brace in January. Or maybe it was early February. But some Victor. These are 1.5, so the same size as the Duke. He gave me one of those. He gave me a Victor number 2. These are older, obviously older traps. This one's been modified. I don't agree with this modification, but they put it on the back instead of the side where it was, which, just trying to pull the trap out of the ground, I bent the bottom of the trap, so I'm not sure if I like that whole plan. This trap, I thought it was a big bad trap until I went out and bought some traps, and then I realized that it's just a little baby trap. And I'd almost be nervous to catch a dog in it. It's strong, but it's not that strong. I did night latch it just playing around. Oh no, I didn't. This one isn't night latched. There, see that? Number 2. What's that say? CTC on it? I don't know. It's old. It's pretty rusty. He gave me a nice long spring. I'm going to say it's a 1.5 long spring Victor. And actually, there's a story behind this next one here. He gave me another number 2, or 1.5 Victor. The story behind this is we actually caught something that night. He left, he went back home, but he left me these traps, and I let them soak overnight. I went out to go pick them all up, see if I got anything, assuming I caught everything in the woods, you know. And I caught one thing, a skunk. My first ever catch was a skunk. It was great. No, it wasn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was terrible. I didn't know what to do. I walked up on it, had it next to a tree. We baited with marshmallows, and it was around some hay bales. And I walked up on it and saw that skunk, and I didn't even think in my head that catching a skunk would even be possible. Never even crossed my mind. I was like, holy shit, what do I do? So I had my 22, and I made the rookie mistake of shooting it in the head. So it sprayed real good, and I learned my lesson really quick. It didn't spray me, but I told myself, you know what, you caught it, you shot it, you're skinning it, you're doing something with it. So I went ahead and did that. I'm just kidding, I didn't do that at all. I went and picked it up, and the burning smell, my eyes were burning, my nose was burning. I walked about 3 steps with it in my hand after getting out of the trap, and I just couldn't do it. I had to let it lay. I feel real bad about it. You know, I'm not that kind of guy. But my God, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So yeah, that happened. Let's see what this Victor will do. Right out of the bucket, not out of the store. Right out of the bucket. That's how well it sits for one. 1 pound. I love this trap tester. I don't have to make nothing to try to figure it out or anything, and it was like 12 bucks or 15 bucks or something like that, so it worked out really well. Yeah, I totally recommend it. The Sullivan trap tester. This little guy, it's for rats. And then my favorite trap of all, I got it from my father-in-law. Unfortunately, he passed away, but right here is my favorite trap. Little mouse trap here. I've actually caught a mouse with it. I know it's just a novelty keychain, but it works. I don't know where it came from. Here, I'll show you with it set. It's a novelty little long spring. I love this little thing. Almost lost it, but she was found. so yeah, that's what's going on in my first run here. We'll see how it goes my first year. I'm hoping to make a few more videos throughout the summer of me setting up these traps, tweaking them, night latch. Maybe after a dozen traps I'll learn actually how to night latch well and be able to make a video on that. I'm not too... maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I don't want to be showing people what to do when I'm not really sure what I want to do or how to do it. So just want everybody to know who maybe haven't been able to get out and always wanted to, grew up in a city. I grew up in a city, unfortunately. I always hated it from as I was a little kid. I remember wanting to leave and just be out in the woods. And I always did as much as I could out in the woods. There's hope out there. So we'll see how this works out and see if I can get some animals. So thank you. Thanks for watching the video. Have a good one.